afternoon, everyone. It is early January. It has pretty much been raining since the middle of November, and everything is absolutely drenched, including this car. I'm just back, I've been back for a few days now from a visit to my family in Holland. I left this car at the airport, and when I came back, car started no problem. Had about 60% battery capacity left. Car started no problem, but I noticed a bit of a problem quite quickly, as in the interior fans didn't start. Now that sort of sounded initially, I was very concerned because I had quite a long journey ahead of me. It was raining and it was just miserable. So what happened was that, what I think happened at least, is that the car got so damp, so cold, I think the fans are sort of starting to stick, which of course is not something you want to have happen, but I have heard reports from other Zoe owners who found their car unable to spin up the fans after a prolonged period of not being used. We drove home. It was from Dublin Airport, so it was a long drive. No problems with the rest of the car or the charging or anything like that. I didn't film it because, basically you've all seen that journey numerous times, and I didn't have my camera with me, so that was the other reason. In either case, after about the third charge, lo and behold, all of a sudden the fans miraculously sprung back to life, and I haven't had any issues since. So that was sort of a great welcome home. I am still a little concerned at the fact that it happened. No problem so far, like I said. The other problem that I have, a sign of usage, is that my car is starting to bring up a notice saying, Keycard Battery low, or key battery low. Basically the actual batteries in the keys are running out. Now the car is about 15 months now. Was a little bit quick if you ask me, but hey ho. It's not exactly rocket science to buy new batteries for it, which I have, and I will make an effort in actually replacing them when I get home. Other than that, the start of the year has been great. Zoe handles brilliantly in water, as you can see by that splash there. I've driven through a few floods actually on my way down to the airport. We decided to leave on the 29th of January, which was in the middle of Storm Frank. It was our 6th or 7th named storm of this season, and apparently things are going to start getting cold now next week, but that's probably, hopefully that'll be an exaggeration, because I'm not really looking forward to any sort of frost or anything like that. So anyway, I shall talk to you guys when I'm home and when I am going to be replacing that. So, daylight's fading already. So basically what you do is, the battery is located underneath this particular bit here. In order to get to it, you have to open the keycard, which is this little button on the side that gives you the actual physical key to open the driver door. The only other way to actually open this up is to pretty much just use brute force, really, just to get the clip off. So I don't know if you can actually see this, but there you go. There's your battery, which is of the the CR2032 variety, which is pretty much your standard sort of any large appliance or sort of like a watch or anything like that that uses flat batteries generally uses a get the battery out, which can be a bit of a struggle. And of course, it's like Murphy's Law. Whenever you need your nails, you cut them the day before. So you basically just push out the battery, if you can. Yay! Got it! It only took about 2 or 3 minutes. So, these are the batteries, the 2032s. Every supermarket should really have them. They're, like I said, they're kind of like standard enough batteries. They're not really that expensive either. They're only a few euro. So let's take it out. Put the old one over there. Now, they generally have a sticker on the side where the power is to make sure it doesn't leak, and then it's just a matter of a reverse procedure as such. Push it back in to just like that, and let's see now. Seems to be working. Excellent. So then you just push this thing back on it until it clicks, and you put your key back. Hey presto, all done. So now the only thing that's left to do is get the other key card, because the other key card will probably end up having the same symptom relatively soon. So that is how you replace the battery in a key for a Renault Zoe. Now, just to make life interesting, as you all know, I drive a right-hand drive Zoe, which is a badly converted version of the left-hand drive Zoe. Just to show how badly converted it is, you know the way I was saying that you can actually use this key to get into the car by opening the driver's side door? I was wrong. You actually have to open the passenger door. Let's see, obviously probably the other way around, just to make sure that I'm not ruining my car too much. There you go. Let's see now. Does this actually work? How does this actually work? There we go. Now, we're at the passenger side. Great, isn't it? So you have to scoot in, scoot over. Anyway, so you don't have power, so your normal keycard won't work. But what you can do is, you can actually insert your keycard in that. Now, I'm not going to do that because the actual end is not on it. I suppose I could put the end on it and actually show you guys. But basically what happens when you do that, alrighty. So, what that happens when you do that is that it actually locks the car and you can actually start it. So that's how you basically get into a Renault Zoe without actually using a keyless entry. Please, Renault, you could do better than that. Just put that damn lock on that side on the right-hand drive car, and whilst you're at it, can you please give us a proper glove box? But anyway, enough of my moaning. Time to enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye now. Good morning from a wonderfully cold and slippery Mallow, Ireland. It is 5 to 9 and I'm as usual late for work. The estate is nice and slippy at the moment. It's about 0 degrees. It's -1, -2 at night. Not very cold by any standard really, but it's just because of the fact that it had rained a lot yesterday, as it has been doing here for quite a while, that the estate is like a little ice rink. So I'm taking it nice and handy. I'm just hoping that I don't end up getting hit by a car coming from the other direction. Anyway, reason I'm talking to ye on this morning is I actually had the brilliant idea, or so I thought, of putting up a comfort timer to defrost my car. Just turn this down a notch just so you guys can hear me. So a comfort timer, just so that my car would be nice and warm this morning. I don't need an actual charge. I still have about 45-50%, which is more than enough for the driving I'm doing around this town. However, I thought to myself, how am I going to do this? Because if I put a comfort timer in and I just plug in the car will start charging, which I didn't want. So I thought to myself, I will put up a charge timer. So I put up a charge timer and a comfort timer, both to be ready at 9 o'clock. Which basically means in a comfort timer thing that the actual car will be finished, will be sort of starting to warm up about 20 minutes prior to the time that you've actually put in. So in this case the car should have started warming up at around 20 to 9, and I say should have because it didn't. This is actually the first time that the actual comfort timer in the R-Link actually failed me, and I have a suspicion it is because of the fact that there was also a charge timer set for 9 o'clock, because I figured I would be leaving before 9 o'clock, which I did, and there's no point in actually the car charging, which it didn't, but the comfort timer should at least work because the car is plugged in. I appear to be wrong. Now I'll test that hypothesis probably tomorrow. But at the moment it seems that if you set a comfort timer and a charge timer to be ready at the same time, it doesn't appear to be working. I still have the actual symbol of a charge and a comfort timer on my dashboard. You know, the clock with the air conditioning symbol on the left and the plug on the right. So it is still activated, which it shouldn't really be. The comfort timer should have already kicked in. Now, unless the car thought it only needed 5 or 10 minutes and I was just premature. Again, unlikely, because most of the time, especially in cold days like today, I see it starting at least 20 minutes beforehand, sometimes probably half an hour. You should at least have it warming up, pre-soak in progress, I think it's called. So yeah, something went wrong there. I shall investigate. Good evening. It is 6 minutes past 10. And it is cold. Now, as you saw, I was going to actually do some testing with the actual charge timer and all that kind of stuff. But as you saw, I have 9 kilometers of range left, total of 9%. So I won't be doing it tonight. I'm going to plug the car in now for a full charge and a charge timer tomorrow morning, which I expect to be working perfectly fine. And we'll do some other testing probably over the weekend. So, time to tuck this one in for the night before I tuck myself in for the night. See you tomorrow. The joy of preheating. The noise, though, I really wish that could be quieter. It sounds like a jet engine. Now look at that. Estimate driving distance of 101 kilometers. That's very low. But anyway, the heater has been on like crazy. This is my last charge. So it's 21.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is fairly high. And an average driving speed of only 25 kilometers, because I usually drive around town. But if I were to clear that, look at what happens to the estimate range. Wow, that was quick, wasn't it? And you can do it even better if you open your door, press both feet on the pedals, as in brake and accelerator, and do it again. Look at that. How to nearly double your range by just opening your door, more or less. Now, of course, that last trick, I think I've done it before, but that basically resets the previous history in the gasometer. So it basically starts from scratch. And as a result, it goes back to sort of factory default. So the 187 is not going to last. The 101 you saw earlier is probably more true. But I always enjoy doing it sort of before longer trips, because it's, if you've done, like me, if you're mostly driving around the city and, you know, you saw that you have a very low average speed and very high usage of the heater, blah, 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 your estimate range will be probably either a lot less or possibly not enough if you're doing driving of a different kind. So resetting this is a hell of a lot, it's very handy and very easy to do. And I like doing that before long trips. But this is not a long trip I'm making. We're going back to work. So we'll see you guys some other time. Looks like I'm not going to get a charge there then. The Leaf is entitled to be there, first of all. The Audi A3, it's not an e-tron, so he isn't entitled to be there. Oh boy. This is the train station, by the way. Planning on going to Cork City this evening, dinner and a movie, and whilst I was doing some business in town, I thought I'd charge up. Now, the charger at Tesco, where I usually charge, has been flooded in recent flooding and is out of action. This is the only one we've got left in town, so it looks like I'll be making a stop after the movie then, in Cork City. Oh well.